A Burial at Ornans, painted by Gustave Courbet between 1849 and 1850, stands as a landmark in the history of French art. This monumental canvas, measuring over 3 meters wide, depicts a funeral in the artist's hometown of Ornans, a small rural community in eastern France. Rather than focusing on a celebrated historical or religious event, Courbet chose to portray an ordinary provincial burial. The decision to render such a scene on a scale traditionally reserved for grand historical painting was, at the time, unprecedented. Courbet's work not only records a specific moment in the life of his community, but also signals a significant shift in artistic priorities, elevating the everyday to a level of importance previously reserved for kings, saints, and mythological heroes. Today, A Burial at Ornans is recognized as a foundational work of realism, challenging the conventions of the French academic tradition and opening new possibilities for modern art. Examining the composition, Courbet arranges the mourners in a broad horizontal band that stretches almost the entire width of the canvas. This alignment creates a strong sense of unity among the figures, while also emphasizing the communal nature of the event. The group includes men, women, and children of varying ages, each depicted with individual features and postures. Some figures display visible grief, while others seem distracted or even indifferent, suggesting a nuanced and realistic portrayal of collective mourning. At the center of the composition, a figure kneels at the edge of the grave, drawing the viewer's attention to the focal point of the ceremony. Above this group, a large crucifix rises, its verticality anchoring the otherwise horizontal arrangement and providing a symbolic reference to the Christian context of the burial. Courbet reinforces the somber mood of the scene through his use of color and light. The mourners are dressed predominantly in dark muted tones, blacks, browns, and grays, which blend into the subdued landscape behind them. The background features the distinctive limestone cliffs of the Ornans region under an overcast sky. This setting grounds the event in a specific place and time, while the lack of dramatic lighting or idealized scenery further underscores the painting's commitment to realism. The careful arrangement of figures and the naturalistic details of the landscape work together to reject the theatricality of academic painting, focusing instead on the truthful representation of a real event. A Burial at Ornans is widely regarded as a defining work of the Realism movement, which emerged in mid-19th century France as a response to the idealized subjects and styles of Romanticism and Neoclassicism. Realist artists sought to depict contemporary life as it was, without embellishment or romanticization. Courbet's decision to paint a provincial funeral on a monumental scale was a radical statement, challenging the academic hierarchy that reserved large canvases for scenes of historical or mythological significance. By granting the same visual weight to an ordinary rural event, Courbet asserted the value and dignity of everyday people and experiences. This approach had broader social implications as well. The painting reflects the realities of rural French society in the years following the 1848 Revolution, a period marked by significant political and social change. By focusing on local customs and the lived experience of the people of Ornans, Courbet's work invites viewers to consider the importance of community and tradition. At the same time, the painting provoked debate about what subjects were appropriate for fine art and about the artist's role in representing contemporary life. These questions would continue to resonate in the decades that followed, influencing the development of modern art across Europe. A closer look at the individual mourners reveals the depth of Courbet's commitment to realism and portraiture. Unlike traditional funeral scenes, which often feature generalized or idealized figures, Courbet's painting is populated by distinct individuals. Many art historians believe that the figures are based on actual residents of Ornans, including members of Courbet's own family and acquaintances. Each face is carefully rendered, showing a range of emotions from sorrow to detachment. The mourners' clothing and accessories are depicted with equal attention to detail, reflecting the fashions and customs of mid-19th century provincial France. This individualized approach not only adds to the authenticity of the scene, but also highlights the communal aspect of mourning as people from different generations and social backgrounds come together to mark the passage of one of their own. Zooming in on the central kneeling figure, the viewer can observe the tension between personal grief and public ritual. The figure's posture and expression suggest a moment of private mourning, within the larger communal ceremony. To the right, the presence of altar boys and a priest in white robes introduces a ceremonial element, while their subdued demeanor maintains the overall tone of restraint. Throughout the painting, Courbet avoids dramatizing the emotions of his subjects, instead presenting a range of authentic responses to loss. Religious symbolism is present but understated. The large crucifix held aloft by a pallbearer is the most prominent religious element in the composition. It serves as a visual reminder of the Christian context of the burial and the spiritual dimensions of death and mourning. The priest and altar boys further emphasize the ceremonial aspect of the event. However, Courbet's treatment of these elements is sober and unembellished. He does not idealize the religious figures or imbue the scene with overt sentimentality. This restraint has led to varying interpretations among scholars. Some see the painting as a quiet critique of the declining influence of religion in rural life, while others view it as a faithful record of local customs. The subdued lighting and earth-toned palette contribute to a contemplative atmosphere, inviting viewers to reflect rather than to be swept up in religious fervor. Gustave Courbet's background is essential to understanding the painting's significance. Born in 1819 in Ornans, Courbet was largely self-taught, developing his artistic skills through direct observation and study of the world around him. He was deeply influenced by his rural upbringing, which shaped his preference for depicting ordinary people and everyday life. Courbet's early career was marked by a conscious rejection of the dominant Romantic style, which favored dramatic subjects and idealized forms. Instead, he championed a new approach, realism, grounded in the accurate representation of contemporary experience. By the time he painted A Burial at Ornans, Courbet was already known for his commitment to challenging academic conventions and advocating for art that reflected the realities of his time. His influence would extend to later artists and movements, including the Impressionists, who also sought to capture the world as they saw it. The exhibition of A Burial at Ornans at the Paris Salon of 1850-51 was a watershed moment in Courbet's career and in the history of modern art. The painting's monumental scale and unvarnished subject matter provoked strong reactions from critics and the public. Many were unsettled by the juxtaposition of a mundane provincial funeral with the grandeur of a large canvas. Traditionalists viewed the work as inappropriate, even vulgar, for its lack of idealization and its focus on ordinary people. Others, however, praised Courbet's technical skill and honesty, recognizing the painting as a bold statement about the value of everyday life. The controversy surrounding the work cemented Courbet's reputation as a leading figure of the realist movement and sparked ongoing debates about the purpose and subject matter of art. Following its initial exhibition, A Burial at Ornans passed through several hands before being acquired by the French state. Its provenance is well documented, reflecting the painting's recognized importance in the history of French art. Today, the work is housed at the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, where it is displayed alongside other masterpieces of 19th century painting. In 2026, the painting underwent a major conservation treatment led by Cinzia Pasquali. This intervention focused on preserving the surface and color integrity of the canvas, ensuring that Courbet's vision remains accessible to future generations. The Musée d'Orsay's presentation of the painting highlights its significance as a turning point in the evolution of modern art. From a technical perspective, Courbet's approach to painting was both innovative and grounded in tradition. He used oil on canvas, the standard medium of his time, but his technique emphasized texture and materiality. The artist's brushwork varies across the canvas, with meticulous attention given to the faces and clothing of the mourners, while the landscape and sky are treated with broader, more expressive strokes. Courbet's palette is dominated by earthy, muted tones, reinforcing the somber mood of the scene. The large scale of the painting allows the figures to appear life-sized, enhancing the sense of immediacy and presence. This commitment to depicting the material reality of his subjects was central to Courbet's philosophy of art and set a precedent for future generations of painters. A Burial at Ornans stands as a testament to the power of art to reflect and question the world in which it is created. By choosing to monumentalize an ordinary event in the life of his community, Courbet challenged the artistic and social conventions of his time. The painting's realism, attention to individual experience, and sober treatment of religious and communal themes continue to resonate with viewers today. Its legacy is evident not only in the history of French art, but also in the broader development of modern painting, inspiring artists to find meaning and significance in the everyday. The work's presence at the Musée d'Orsay ensures its continued accessibility, inviting new generations to engage with its complex portrayal of life, death, and community.